Hello, Namaskar, and welcome to this very special edition of Sikkim Chronicle. Well, today we are being joined by Dr. D. Uday Kumar. Yes, the man who designed the Indian Rupee symbol. He is here at AIC-SMUTBI to encourage and motivate the young entrepreneurs, especially in terms of design and branding. We'll have a conversation. Sir, welcome to Sikkim, and we hope you are enjoying your stay. So, what brings you to Sikkim?
I've been invited by AIC SMU by Professor Tej for the Startup Enclave, EXA Startup Enclave, as a resource person. So that's what brings me here to Sikkim.
So, how did you find Sikkim? I'm sure you must, not much of time did you get, but how did you find it?
Oh, it's been a great experience so far, and especially the hospitality. I was very much impressed, and it's just overwhelming to see the warm hospitality they have extended to us. And because I've come with my family, and I feel really thankful to the university and the people who have been very kind enough to kind of accommodate each and everything that needed. Yeah, so yeah, it's been a great experience in Sikkim. Yeah.
Yes. Sir, I just wanted to ask you because you are that person who is so indispensable because you know that the symbol is so important for every person's life. How do you feel? I mean, it was in the year 2010 you designed this, and after that I was doing a research and so much of media interviews and the limelight. How do you feel becoming one of the most important component of the economic system of the great India?
Yeah, it feels great, and at the same time, there are a lot more people who have done great things for the country and the economy. So it's just I felt like it's just a small part that I could contribute, which of course I am very much happy about it. Yeah, so I'm thankful to the God and everything that has happened to me. So yeah.
Yes. So before I start, ask you about the design, you come from Tamil Nadu, a small place where, there are lots of beautifully architectured temples. So, was it in you that you wanted to pursue your career in design? Was this, place give you the motivation? Tell us something about that.
I was very interested in art right from my school days, yeah, young days. So my school teacher, Miss Jayalakshmi, so Vijay sorry. So she kind of found, because I used to kind of draw and I put up exhibitions, and all my teachers, not just Vijay Lakshmi madam. There's so many of my teachers who were there in. So I was in a boarding school. So I studied in a school called Lashat Lane Residential Junior College in Chennai. So right from my first to 12th standard, I was in a boarding school. So they were all very encouraging and motivating. And then that's when my school teacher, like I mentioned, so she said that why don't you take up architecture, since you are good at creative skills, and also your drawing and painting skills are really good. So maybe that could be the right choice that you can pick up. So then I also had this idea that I do not want to get into engineering or MBBS or into the medical. I wanted to choose a profession that kind of best suits me, and also something which is different. So I looked for architecture again. I fortunately I got through, and I got admission in Nana University School of Architecture and Planning, where I did my bachelor's in architecture, and from there on my design journey continued. Yeah.
And then you came to IIT Mumbai.
Yes, so for my masters, so again during my architecture, I did a lot of visual design campaigns and work for my college activities, yeah, both officially and also informally. So I used to do graphic design works, and then I also learned that some of my seniors at that time during the architecture, so they did a master's program from Industrial Design Center, IIT Bombay. Now it is called as IDC School of Design, IIT Bombay. So they did the masters, which is MDes, and then I thought probably I wanted to kind of really learn about design formally and apart from architecture. Basically visual communication design is what I wanted to get into. So I followed their footstep, and some of my friends also got there, and again I was fortunate to get the admissions, and that was another eye opener for myself, in terms of how visual design, visual communication design works. Yeah.
So at that point of time, it was a very unconventional career choice. I mean, was there a second thought that of choosing the subject design basically, and was there the prospect at that point of time when you choose to pursue designing?
Uh, to be honest, I was not so concerned about the prospects, or I never had a doubt about changing the stream that I was into, because I loved and I enjoyed being in design field. Yeah, and this is what I wanted to do. I had a focus, and I had a very clear focus, and there was nothing else I would want to do. So of course I was interested in sports and various other things, but as a profession I always wanted to look at myself as a designer, and because it kind of posed a challenge to my own creative abilities, and I saw a lot of opportunities in that. So whether there was a market or not, that is something which I was not very particular about, but I was looking at how I can kind of explore myself and bring out the potential that I have within me, and I felt this kind of offered me that opportunity to kind of explore myself as a creative person. So I never thought of any other discipline to move on or change, or I was not so concerned about whether there's a market or not, but I thought this is my interest, this is my love, this is my passion, and this is what I want to do. Again, looking at my own capabilities and my strengths, and which I had. Yeah. So yeah.
So, sir, tell us what is happening in designing presently. I mean, lots of students are now, opting for a designing, a design career. What's happening exactly presently?
There are a lot of these newer things have come up. Yeah, newer disciplines in design itself. So design is a very broad stream, which started off initially with industrial design. Then over a period of time, it just merged. They bifurcated, and there's so many specializations to come. So currently, if you look at the trend, is the UI UX, which many of the students take up. Yeah, but that's the current. Even the job providers, yeah, so many of the IT industries look for UI UX designers, where you can already see there's so many apps and websites, and where you need such kind of there's a lot of demand for such kind of designers. Yeah, so that's where we're heading. And now with this technological advancements like this AR, VR, XR, and all of those MR and so on and so forth, so there also the designers play a very important role. So where designers are getting into, yeah, many of the students offer such kind of courses. Yeah, so many of the institute also started to offer programs in such kind of fields and domains. Yeah, so
exactly. All right, so let's come to this symbol. I know you have explained this numerous times, in an interview, but still we want you to explain about the design.
Okay, so one of the so as you all know, this was a competition floated by Government of India. So in 2010, so that's when it was announced. Yeah. 2009 they announced the competition, but the results were announced in 2010. So the guidelines, one of them were that the symbol should be an Indian symbol. It should have this Indian tradition and cultural ethos in it. So then my own research. So I was doing my PhD in IDC, IIT Bombay. So I was working on the thesis on Tamil typography. That's my interest. Looking at Indian typography as my core area. Or area of specialization. So that I kind of explore a lot of these scripts, and I also got to study many of them as a part of my research. So then I felt like script can kind of best reflect the Indian culture and traditions. Yeah. So then I used the Devanagari script, and at the same you can see this is letter R, which is kind of an abbreviation of rupiah, which R rupiah. And then you also have a capital letter R. If you kind of have this one more line here, then you will find the capital letter R being there, which kind of expands to rupees. So rupiah and rupees both denote the Indian currency. So that's why I kind of used that particular visual form, the letter. And also I had this cut through between the letter form. That's because, so if you look at many of the currency signs, they have a visual grammar, a visual language, yeah, where you have a letter which is cut across either vertically, diagonally, or horizontally. So I wanted to find follow the same visual grammar, so that it could be associated or understood as a currency sign, and not as any other corporate logo or an identity or a visual sign. So that was the core idea, the basic philosophy of this symbol. Yeah, it's based on the Devanagari script and the Latin script, yeah, which is seamlessly blended together to create a simple design.
So how long did it take for you to design this?
Yeah, probably 2 to 2.5 or 3 months, you can say. But of course, I did not work continuously throughout the day. But as and when I found time, I could kind of work on it, because, like I said, I was doing my PhD then, and so I was just like in and out of working on it. But of course, it was when I start any design process, it is always in the back of the mind. I don't have to sit and just work on it. You just keep thinking simultaneously, so it goes on. But yeah, to roughly say about 2 to 3 months is what I.
So how confident were you, like that your symbol would be chosen and would be become this landmark symbol in Indian Rupee? Were you confident at that point of the competition?
I was hopeful. Yeah, see, I think for any participant, this is what you need to be keep in mind. Yeah, so if you're participating in a competition, you are hoping that you will win, right? So, and so it is that hope. So when you participate, and if you think that you're not going to win, then why spend time and just participate in it? Yeah, so it is the hope that you will win and your symbol will be chosen. Yeah, is what kind of drives you, and you also kind of want to understand your own potential, that you can do it. And so I was confident in that sense. Yeah, so I was hoping that it will be the symbol for the Indian currency.
Right. So you were born in Tamil Nadu, and then you pursued your PhD in Mumbai. Then now you are working in Guwahati, Assam. So it's a pan India traveling. Was there a kind of a cultural shock when you shifted from Mumbai to Guwahati, and how did you find the entire Northeast India basically as a glimpse from the Guwahati?
I really loved being in Bombay and also in Guwahati, and more or less it's been 13 years I've been in Guwahati, and I enjoy being there in Guwahati. So I never regret it or any. There's nothing to be regretted, at least personally for me. And the Northeast is one of the beautiful places, and I'm sure every Indian should have at least once go visit Northeast and enjoy the natural beauty and the scenic beauty that they have, and also the people with their warm hospitality. So I enjoyed that warm hospitality, and I was happy to be there. And even in Bombay, though most of the times I'm within the campus. Yeah, when you go out, it's Mumbai. I don't have to talk about it. It's a very vibrant city. It's always like on the go, on the move, and but there's a contrast. Yeah, so in Bombay, it is like always bustling and it's just very busy. But when you go to Guwahati, at least the campus where I am living in, it's very calm, peaceful, idle, quiet, a serene atmosphere. So it's just the difference. Yeah, but it is a very interesting balance that I kind of find. Yeah, so that's. And I find IIT Guwahati being an ideal place for learning. Yeah, so it's just there's no much of a disturbance for you, at least in the environmental point of view. So you can just sit and study and focus on your work, what you want to do. So, and other than that, also I enjoy in Guwahati, and I also enjoy tremendously in being in Bombay.
So I got this opportunity to attend your session, and how beautifully you explained about the different aspect of branding, specifically when it comes to typography, color, the font and everything. So I just wanted to ask you, for the benefit of many entrepreneurs in the state of Sikkim, how important is branding, especially the logo branding?
Yeah, so if you wanted to grow as a company or an organization, then having a very strong brand identity is very essential, and that will really help you to kind of sustain the market, and also help you to leverage your company. Yeah. So, and I just also told that many often people think design as a cosmetic element, where it is an afterthought when you say you already start everything and then just put up a makeup and you just do all fancy things, and that you think that as a design. But I think design can become a very interesting strategy in itself as a part of your entire organization and company. And if you can really understand how design can effectively be used for your work, for your company, I think it can boost your revenue and many other things as well. But that's how effectively you're going to use it and how you're going to apply that design into your whatever organizations that you have is very essential and important. Yeah. So, but I'm confident. Like I said, if you as a startup, if you have given a thought about your brand identity in the initial stage, and I'm thinking it'll go a long way. And when you started to grow and become a bigger, larger organizations, and this is what is going to kind of help you identify yourself in the market. Yeah. And that's where you want to have a strong visual presence, and that's basically what branding and brand identity does. Yeah.
So, talking in terms of AIC-SMUTBI, this incubation centers has been able to, like, nurture the and polish the entrepreneurial talent of, like, many entrepreneurs, budding entrepreneurs. Why do you feel, I mean, what kind of, the role this kind of incubation centers can play, especially in, like, promoting the entrepreneurial talents?
Well, I'm really impressed to see the number of startups they have kind of incubated here, and I was very, like I said, really impressed about how they are going about, and I think they are doing a wonderful job and a great job, and they should continue to do it. And this, for many of the entrepreneurs and the people who want to start on their own, I think this can become a right avenue or a platform for them to kind of come up and also get incubated and also grow their business. Yeah. So Professor Tej Banta has been doing a fantastic job, I should say, and I'm also thankful for him to kind of call me here. Initially I was hesitant to come. I was just wondering what I will be able to contribute, because I'm not from the business background, so I was kind of skeptical. So but after coming here, I felt like listening to all the resource persons who have been here. I got to learn a lot as a participant, I should say, along with the other people who have come here. And so I think this AIC-SMU is doing a fantastic job, and I think it's a great place for any startups to come and get incubated and grow their own businesses.
All right. Yeah. So as we wind up, a last question from me. I was very inquisitive to know you come from a political, family. Your father was an MLA. Never politics interest you?
A good thing about my father is that so he never involved or spoke about politics at home, and so my father was an MLA. He was one of the youngest MLAs. So it was before marriage. Yeah, so in 1971, he was an MLA. So then he got married in 75. So I didn't know, even I was not even in the period when he was actually in the holding the political positions. And after that also there were many things that he did. He never involved us. None of our family, none of my brothers, sisters are as a part of it. Yeah, he was all alone, and he did everything by himself, and he continues to do by himself. And we are also not interested into it. I'm personally not very keen on politics, and rather getting involved myself into it. And that way he kept us separated. Yeah, so I was more keen on academics, sports, and things, nature, and things like that. I had my own interest, so I had the freedom to be what I would want to be. Yeah. He never forced us, or never talked about it. Not even till now, he has never spoken or given a hint that I should kind of be part of it or help him out or do anything to do with it. None of my brothers, sisters were also kind of involved in any such things. So I'm happy that he gave us the freedom to be what we wanted to be. And for me, fortunately, I could identify my own potential. Like I said, I wanted to be in design, that which I am, and so I had that clarity earlier in my own life. So politics was not my thing, and so he did not involve us, and we did not want to get into it. Okay. And we were all studious. All we were try to study, learn, be on our own, and we try to be independent and be on our own. We never depended on our my parents. Yeah, though of course they helped us to educate us, but right from my school days, I already told you I was in a boarding school. That way also we were never part of this, and we could not see anything with this political. So I'm happy to have a father like him, and also my parents. They've been supportive of whatever that I did. They just gave me the freedom and trusted me that I will be doing good and continue to do good.
Absolutely. So you are in one of the most premier institutes, IIT Guwahati. So what are you up to now? Matlab, are you doing any research, or what next? What is that thing you wanted to achieve?
There is a lot of things to achieve. You set your own goals. So I mostly focus on my teaching, and so I wanted to kind of keep on improving my teaching skills. And I teach designs, and because every time you have new kind of students, and they have different aspirations, and they want and the way they learn and so on. Yeah, and especially in the current scenario when you have a lot of platforms where they can learn on their own and be independent on themselves in terms of understanding a subject. Yeah, so it also becomes challenging for teachers. Yeah, how you kind of cope up with things. Yeah. with drastically changing things. Even the learning environments are all completely shifting, especially during the COVID. If you have already noticed that there were a lot of this online learning, and now you have a lot of online certificates and programs that is available, which even well-established institutes, renowned institutes offer, to kind of to offer courses, So then you as a teacher and what you do in the classroom, then in your studios, what you teach and how you teach. So those has always been my priorities. I try to I don't compromise on my teaching. I try to do my best. And then you also wanted to constantly update and learn how you can convey or communicate the subject really well to your students, so that they get the best out of best and learn best. And then of course my research is something which I'm not finding time, because there of course, if you are in an IIT system, you also have a lot of other roles that you need to play, many of the like administrative roles, and teacher and researcher, consultant, and so on and so forth. There are too many things, so you're always constantly occupied with work some way or the other. And so most of my research are through my own research scholars who do in different topics, and I work primarily in visual communication design, typography, graphic design is what of interest. Of late, recently, I've been thinking about design leadership, so how designers can become a good leaders, and because of the skill set that they come up with, and also the knowledge that they gain or they learn. So I felt like probably you need to kind of inculcate some of the design leadership skills to them, and make designers into becoming leaders in the future. But right now I do not find specifically how this could be integrated in the country. So this was something which just came about in a couple of years ago, and I've been a lot of thinking about it, and also planning to float a course for them and learn. And I'm also learning myself. I would want to kind of be learning about leadership qualities and what makes a leader and so on. So
Thank you so much, Dr. D. Uday Kumar, for speaking with us. It was a lovely conversation, and all the best for your future endeavors.
Thank you, and all the best to you as well.
Thank you so much. So, with Ashish Gurum, this is Nirmal for Sikkim Chronicle.
Get all the credible news on the go. Download the Sikkim Chronicle app.